If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause.
Welcome to Memorial Assignment, Israel. I'm Izar Allah, and to my right is Tazayuan Ariala, Ashnapash, Bishop Banayah, Yashimai, and Darash. And you are tuned in to True Nation Israelite Congregation. And we're going to go over the Feast of Memorial Assignment. But what I want to bring out is this is a time of war that's being celebrated and the things that our forefathers accomplished. So I want to go here. Let's go to Sirach chapter 44 and verse 1. Because how many of y'all know, like, through social media and all that stuff, we get a weirdo's praises, right? You got people put on pedestals just because they can rap good or sing good, but they not doing nothing for the community. They not making sacrifices to save us and our people, right? So I want to make this already. It already is a special moment, but I want to make it a super special moment where we all praise our forefathers and the ones that put in work for this law. So let's get this. Sirach 44 and verse 1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 44 and verse 1. Let us now praise famous men.
It just said one person.
Famous men.
It said, let us, the children of Israel, praise famous men. Who are the famous men in the Bible? Give me some names. All praises for that. Because them the ones we supposed to be giving praise to, right? And not praising the weirdos. Not praising the gangbangers, because guess what? They in the hood selling dope. Yeah, they looking good, they shiny and flashy, but they destroying the fabric of our nation. Because they selling dope to the moms, the mothers, the fathers, the brothers, the aunties, uncles, and sisters. They kidnapping our kids, all that, letting all types of stuff go. Y'all seen that, what's that movie? They Clone Tyrone, right? The cycle continuously over and over and over as long as we perpetuate the praise of the wicked men, right? But we're going to praise famous men, which is our forefathers. And we're going to get into this. Let's go to First Maccabees, chapter 2. I want 1 through 5. So we're going to see these famous men who we are to praise, right?
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joarib.
So here you have a priest that rose up when Israel was taken over by wickedness, right? Go ahead.
From Jerusalem and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons.
So here's the man who put in work, and he had 5 sons. Go ahead.
Johanan called Cadiz, Simon called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus.
So the one we recognizing tonight is Simon called Thassi. And if y'all seen Darash's lesson on the history of Simon, Thassi also means to be wise, okay? So Simon was a wise individual. But we don't just want to praise him. We want to praise all our forefathers, right? So go ahead.
Judas, who was called Maccabeus.
Everybody know about the hammer, right? Right, go ahead.
Eleazar, called Avaran.
He was also a brave soldier, right? Go ahead.
And Jonathan, whose surname was Aphis.
He was also another brave soldier that Mattathias birthed, right? And this is the Maccabean family, which is the Hasmonean dynasty right there, right? So with that, let's go here. Let's go to Sirach 30. Because we all know, 30 and verse 6, we all know Mattathias, he died, right? But this is what he left behind him.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30 and verse 6. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
And we're going to see that all these brothers was avengers against their enemies, right? Go ahead.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
And they was kind to his friends because they helped the nation of Israel in getting right with the Most High and not being conquered by the heathens, right? So let's go here. Let's go to 1 Maccabees, chapter 2 again. And we're going to start at verse 49.
1 Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 49. And it reads, Now when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, Now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength in the time of destruction.
So
and
he's
the
talking
wrath
about
of
the
indignation.
wicked men, how they got pride and rebuke got strength, right? Because when you don't persecute the wicked, what happens? It gets worse and worse and worse because ain't nobody doing nothing about it, right? But go ahead.
And the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
No, he told them be weak for the law, don't do nothing, right?
Be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
Which we are to do the same thing today. Because when we're not brave and we don't speak up against the wicked, what happens?
Wickedness continues.
It continues. It waxes worse and worse, right? That was all of verse 50?
Yep.
So let's go here. Let's go to, flip over to chapter 3. I want 19 to 21. Because this is what Mattathias taught his sons, right?
1 Maccabees, chapter 3, and verse 19. For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host.
So it doesn't matter how big the company is that's coming against you. They knew this, and it was taught to them, right? Go ahead.
For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven.
So where do our strength come from today? The Most High. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. All this comes from the Most High, right? Go ahead.
They come against us in much pride and
what
iniquity.
What are we supposed to do? Go ahead.
They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and our children and to spoil us.
Because it's not enough for them just to destroy the man. They want to destroy the women and his seed, right? Go ahead.
But we fight for our lives and our laws.
So they was fighting for their lives and their laws. Because I'm not going to go there, but some of our foremothers and forefathers, they was like, we're not going to fight because it's Sabbath. What happened to them? They died. But thanks God, thank the Most High for the ones who did fight. That's why we still here today, right? And now we still have a fighting chance. Because y'all know the same thing that happened to them is going to happen to us.
Yep.
That time is coming.
Come.
But we preparing for it right now, right?
Come.
So now let's go back to 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 51.
1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time.
That's what we doing right now. Go ahead.
So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Mm-hmm. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation?
So these are the things that Mattathias was exhorting his sons. He was like, remember the things that our forefathers did, right? Go ahead.
Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation and was imputed unto him for righteousness?
Yep, go ahead.
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
Because we know Joseph, he could have been like, man, forget this. I'm already locked up. Ain't nobody going to save me. But he was faithful to the Most High, right? Go ahead.
Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood.
So he put to death wicked Israelites, right? Go ahead.
Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel.
Yahweh Shai. He became our sacrificial lamb, right? Go ahead.
Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom.
Because he didn't kill Saul. He didn't kill Saul when he had a chance to, right? He was merciful, right? But go ahead.
Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael,
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? But go ahead.
by believing, were saved out of the flame.
Go ahead.
Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions.
So all these men put their faith in the Most High. They didn't put it in themselves, but they put it in the words. Put their faith in the words that were spoken to them by the holy prophets and by the Most High, right? Go ahead.
And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
Are we going to be overcome when we put our trust in the Most High? No. Right? Go ahead.
Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms.
So he let you know what's going to happen to the sinful men. They're not going to have a everlasting glory, but go ahead.
Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned into his dust, and his thought is come to nothing. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law.
No, he said be cowards on behalf of the law.
Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law.
Don't a man stand up right for all his rights? And when he's wrong, he stand up for that too? To let you know, like, nah, man, that ain't right. Don't do that. I don't want you to treat me like that. So they didn't allow the heathens to overrun them in their righteousness, right? But go ahead.
For by it ye shall obtain glory. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you.
So he knew Simon was the wise one that everyone should get that counsel from, right? But go ahead.
As for Judas Maccabeus, he hath been mighty and strong, even from his youth up.
So that's the one that got the bronze. Let him do what?
Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
He gonna fight all these battles. Also, Simon, he wasn't no punk. He was fighting these battles too, right? But go ahead.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
Nah, take anybody.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law.
So if you got these friends that's halfway observing the law, should they be coming with you? No. Should they be a part of your company? No. Unless they truly seeking the righteousness of the Most High and be like, you know what? I want to follow what you're doing, do what you're doing, and how you're doing it, and not be leaning to my own understanding and us be conflicted in doctrines. That's the only way they're going to be coming to you or be with you. They got to do what? I'll read that again.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law.
So if they're not observing the law, don't bring them along with you. Because you could be receiving of their curse that the Most High put on them because you hanging with the wicked. The scripture says, how can two walk together except they be agreed? And if you unequally yoked, guess what? It ain't going to work, right? But go ahead.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people. Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the law.
So we wasn't taught this in Bible school. It said recompense fully the heathen and take heed to the commandments of the law. So they was repaying evil for evil. They was recompensing themselves, right? Go ahead.
So he blessed them and was gathered to his fathers. And he died in the 146th year, and his sons buried him in the sepulchres of his fathers at Modin, and all Israel made great lamentation for him.
So that was Mattathias. He died, right? But he left 5 sons that was avengers, that was going to avenge the wickedness of Israel, right? So now let's go to First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 19.
First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice.
Because we know here Israel was supposed to. Let me flip back. I'm going to go to chapter 1. I'm going to read verse 40. And he had, this is Antiochus, and he had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. And moreover, the king Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. This is what Mattathias was fighting against. So go ahead, read that.
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from their religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
So see how stern Mattathias was? Because all of Israel was supposed to follow King Antiochus at this time. They wasn't supposed to keep their laws. Because they castrated them, they killed them, right? And if anybody was found keeping the law, they killed them. So go ahead. Because this is Mattathias' example, and this is what his sons also learned, right? Go ahead.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left.
Did he waver? No, he didn't, right? But go ahead.
Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was set at Modin.
So here come one of his own men, his own people, want to follow the king's order and not the Most High's order. And let's see what he did to him. Right? Go ahead.
According to the king's commandment, which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled, neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment.
Man, he was so mad he was shaking. But let's see what else happened. Go ahead.
Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. Also the king's commissioner, who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down. Thus dealt he zealously for the law of God, like as Phinehas did unto Zambri, the son of Salam.
So he dealt uprightly with the law that the Most High gave us, right? But go ahead, verse 27.
And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
He didn't want the halfway ones. You had to be 100% in. That's the only way you could follow him. Because Israel weeded the wicked ones out, right? So now let's go First Maccabees chapter 3, 1 through 8. Because this is Judas and his brothers. They fighting wars.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead.
So this is after Mattathias. He passed away. And this is the one, Judas, Maccabeus, the fighter, right? Go ahead.
And all his brethren helped him. And so did all they that held with his father.
How many brothers did he have?
5.
No, he had
4.
5 sons, but he had 4 brothers. And all of them helped. Same thing we supposed to do here. One on the plow, we all plowing, right? We all got to help each other, right? But go ahead.
And all his brethren helped him. And so did all they that held with his father. And they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel.
So you see how once his sons picked up the mantle, everybody that followed his father also followed his sons? Because they was that loyal to his father and loyal to the Most High? But go ahead.
So he gat his people great honor and put on a breastplate as a giant.
No, he did that for himself.
And put on a breastplate as a giant.
No, it said he got his people great honor. It wasn't just about him. It was about the whole nation, right? Go ahead.
So he gat his people with great honor and put on a breastplate as a giant and girt his warlike harness about him. And he made battles, protecting the host with his sword. In his axe he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp roaring for his prey. For he pursued the wicked and sought them out.
Nah, he just let them roam around about the city and do whatever they wanted to do.
For he pursued the wicked.
That means he chasing them down. Wherever they at, he finding them, he slaying them, right? Go ahead.
For he pursued the wicked and sought them out, and burnt up those that vexed his people. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him.
So see what happened when the righteous are in power and they putting the hammer down?
God.
the wickedness gonna shrink, right? But go ahead.
Wherefore the wickedness shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled.
So the workers of iniquity, those were the ones who had the law and were supposed to be keeping it, and they were troubled, right? Go ahead.
And all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand.
So as long as righteous men are putting forth the law, salvation is going to prosper, right? Go ahead.
He grieved also many kings, and made Jacob glad with his acts.
Ain't y'all glad?
Con.
All praises. Go ahead.
And his memorial is blessed forever.
So all the brothers had a memorial, but go ahead, read that.
Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them, and turning away wrath from Israel.
Because do y'all know that there was wicked Israelites siding with the side of Esau? I'm going to show y'all that as we go on, right? So I'm going to get another brother, because this brother was powerful too, and he died valiantly for the children of Israel. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 6. We're going to read 43 through 46, and this is Eleazar. Yeah, 6 and 43.
1 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 43. Eleazar also, surnamed Savaron, perceiving that one of the beasts armed with the royal harness was higher than all the rest, and supposing that the king was upon him, put himself in jeopardy to the end he might deliver his people and get him a perpetual name.
So he going up against a man on a big beast. He put himself in jeopardy, right? To save his people, right? Because you know when you chop off the head, everything else going to go, right? The body falls, right? So he was going for the head man, right? Go ahead.
Wherefore, he ran upon him courageously through the midst of the battle, slaying on the right hand and on the left, so that they...
Chopping stuff up. Y'all played that game, the fruit game, and you got two swords? He was right and left. Cha, 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 cha. Right? Go ahead.
So that they were divided from him on both sides. Which done, he crept under the elephant and thrust him under and slew him. Whereupon the elephant fell down upon him, and there he died.
So he killed the elephant to kill the rider, and he also died in the act, right? But all praises to the Most High for that brother's bravery. Let's get another brother. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 9. We're going to read 23 through 42. Because y'all probably never heard of this right here. These brothers was cold, but they avenged their brother, right? Because this is the Israelite war stories right here. 1 Maccabees chapter 9, we're going to read 23 through 46. Yeah, 42, my bad. Go ahead, you got it?
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 9, and verse 23. Now after the death of Judas, the wicked began to put forth their heads in all the coast of Israel.
So we know this is how Judas died, right? But when they found out he was gone, they was like, man, the Israelite champion is gone. Everybody coming out the woodworks, right? But go ahead.
And there arose up all such as wrought iniquity. In those days also there were in those days also was there a great famine, by reason whereof the country revolted, and went back with them. Then Bacchides, the wicked men, and made them lords of the country.
So they chose wicked men to rule over Israel, right? Go ahead.
And they made inquiry and search for Judas's friends, and brought them to Bacchides, who took vengeance of them and used them despitefully.
So these are wicked Israelites that was doing this, right? But go ahead.
So was there a great affliction in Israel, the like whereof was not since the time that the prophet was not seen among them. For this cause all Judas's friends came together and said unto Jonathan, since thy brother Judas died, we have no man like him to go forth against our enemies and Bacchides, and against them of our nation that are adversaries to us. Now therefore we have chosen thee this day to be our prince and captain in his stead, that thou mayest fight our battles. Upon this Jonathan took the governance upon him at that time.
Did he refuse? Remember his father told him be zealous for the law, right? And the commandments. So he didn't back down, knowing that his father died his brother died. Now he's in command, right? And he's going to be the man that they come after, right? But go ahead.
Upon this, Jonathan took the governance upon him at that time and rose up instead of his brother Judas. But when Bacchides gat knowledge thereof, he sought to slay him.
So he's like, man, I'm going to kill this dude. I'm going to try to kill all their family, right? But go ahead.
Then Jonathan and Simon his brother and all that were with him, perceiving that, fled into the wilderness of Thekoe
So the brothers are still together, Jonathan and Simon, right? Go ahead.
and pitched their tents by the water of the pool of Asphar. Which when Bacchides understood, he came near to Jordan with all his host upon the Sabbath day.
So they came on the Sabbath day. If they come on the Sabbath day, what y'all going to do? Y'all going to have to get down, right? But go ahead.
Now Jonathan had sent his brother John, a captain of the people, to pray his friends, the Nabathites, that they might leave with them their carriage, which was much. But the children of Jambri came to Medeba and took John and all that he had and went their way with it. After this came word to Jonathan and Simon his brother that the children of Jambri made a great marriage and were bringing the bride from Nabadatha,
No.
or Nadabatha, with
That's
a
one of the
great
tongue twisters.
with a great train.
So these were their enemies and they were having a marriage. But let's see what happened during this time, right? Because they took something from their brother, right? But go ahead.
As being the daughter of one of the great princes of Canaan. Therefore they remembered John their brother and went up and hid themselves under the covert of the mountains, where they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, there was much ado and great carriage. And the bridegroom came forth, and his friends and brethren, to meet them with drums and instruments of music and many weapons. Then Jonathan and they that were with him rose up against them from the place where they lay in ambush, and made
So you have these mighty men laying in ambush for their enemies at their wedding. Y'all know how devastating that is? Right? Go ahead.
and made a slaughter of them in such sort as many fell down dead, and the remnant fled into the mountain, and they took all their spoils. Thus was the marriage turned into mourning, and the noise of their melody into lamentation. So when they had avenged fully the blood of their brother, they turned again to the marsh of Jordan.
So read that again so it don't go over to everybody's head. Verse 42.
So when they had avenged fully the blood of
what
their
did
brother.
their father say do? Avenge fully the heathen. Recompense them for the evil that they did to your brothers. And they followed suit. Right? Go ahead.
So when they had avenged fully the blood of their brother, they turned again to the marsh to Jordan. Now when Bacchides heard hereof, he came on the Sabbath day unto the banks of Jordan with a great power. Then Jonathan said to his company, let us go up now and fight for our lives, for it standeth not with us today as in time past.
So they still ready to fight. Mind you, these men are priests. These are holy men. Right? Go ahead.
For, behold, the battle is before us and behind us, and the water of Jordan on this side and that side. The marsh likewise, and wood, neither is there place for us to turn aside. Wherefore cry ye now unto heaven, that ye may be delivered from the hand of your enemies.
They still crying out to the Most High, praying to the Most High. How many of us get in trouble and be like, man, forget it. I'm going to just go my way. They in the battle, remembering the power of the Most High, right? Go ahead.
With that they joined Salakia. With that they joined battle. And Jonathan stretched forth his hand to smite Bacchides, but he turned back from him.
That's all I needed right there. But y'all see how valiant these men was? Not only was they fighting for the nation, they was still upholding the law. And they didn't want no wicked men of Israel to be around them, right? So now let's go to First Maccabees, chapter 13. And we're going to start at verse 1. Yep.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it, and saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together and gave them exhortation, saying, Ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary.
So he reminding the people like, man, we've been fighting. We here. We still fighting, right? Go ahead.
The battles also and troubles which we have seen, by reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake.
If there was anybody that was going to give up at this time, wouldn't y'all think it would have been Simon? He's still exhorting the people after losing his father and all his brothers. He's like, let's go, let's get it, right? Go ahead.
By reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone. Now therefore be it far from me that I should spare my own life in any time of trouble.
He's like, I'm not going to spare my own life. I'm on this battlefield with y'all.
Kind.
But go ahead.
For I am no better than my brethren. Doubtless I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary.
There that word go again, avenge. Mattathias left avengers. Some of y'all are avengers. Some of y'all children going to be avengers. Right? They raised these boys and these women right, these little girls right. Because it wasn't just men in Israel putting in work. I know the ladies know all of the women that was putting in work. Give me some names. Who else? Esther. Who else? Deborah. Who else? Come on, y'all gotta do some homework. Get that work in, and then y'all can see y'all foremothers who was putting in work for Israel, right? Yeah. All praises, all praises. Because that's right, sis.
That's right.
We're going to praise famous ones,
praise.
not the wicked, but go ahead.
Verse 6. Doubtless I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children.
Because it wasn't just, oh man, bros before hoes. They wives, they was fighting for their wives too.
God.
Bros before hoes, that's a messed up mentality. We supposed to be all at one with the Most High, right? But go ahead.
For all the heathen are gathered to destroy us For all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice.
And y'all can go to Psalms 83 and see all the heathens are confederate against us, right? But go ahead.
Now, as soon as the people heard these words, their spirit revived.
Man, y'all know how Tazayawan and all these brothers be giving them phenomenal lessons, and y'all spirit revived. Be like, man, I needed that. This is how he was exhorting the people, right? Go ahead.
And they answered with a loud voice, saying, Thou shalt be our leader instead of Judas, and Jonathan thy brother. Fight thou our battles, and whatsoever thou commandest us, that we will do.
So they had an order of submission to the brother, right? They was like, whatever you command us, we gonna do. That's how the Most High wanted. When you got the wise men in control and in order, and he's ordering his people righteously, it's easy to submit because your life is on the line. Whether you in battle, physically, or a spiritual battle. Right? Go ahead.
So then he gathered together all the men of war and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem, and he fortified it round about.
So they took back the city of Jerusalem, right? Go ahead.
And he sent Jonathan, the son of Absalom, and with him a great power to Joppa, who casting out them that were therein remained there in it.
So they're casting out all the wicked people that remained in Jerusalem, right? But go ahead.
So Tryphon removed Ptolemy with the great power to invade the land of Judah.
There you go. Got that Edomite again, ready to invade the land, right? Go ahead.
And Jonathan was with him in war. But Simon pitched his tents at Adida over against the plain. Now when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan and meant to join battle with him, he sent messengers unto him, saying,
Man, now they want to send messengers. You had all that energy, right? Now you want to talk, right? But go ahead.
Whereas we have Jonathan thy brother in hold, it is for money that he is owing unto the king's treasure, concerning the business that was committed unto him. Wherefore now send 100 talents of silver, and 2 of his sons for hostages.
So here you have Tryphon. He was tricking them into sending money, knowing he was going to kill him anyway. But let's see how wisely Simon dealt with this. Go ahead.
Wherefore now send 100 talents of silver, and 2 of his sons for hostages, that when he is at liberty he may not revolt from us, and we will let him go. Hereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him, yet sent he the money and the children.
So when he spoke deceitfully unto them, because I wrote it down. No, you can actually read chapter 10, because the same thing happened. Let me get it so I know. But we're not gonna go there, but you can stay there. I just want to let the people know, because this happened also. So Alexander, the son of Antiochus, he also did the same thing. He promised things that to Jonathan, and Jonathan was like, "No, I know you ain't gonna do that, right?" So I'm gonna read it, chapter 10 and verse 46. It says, "Now when Jonathan and the people heard these words, they gave no credit unto them, nor received them, because they remembered the great evil that he had done in Israel, where he had afflicted them very sore," right? Because not only was these wicked leaders, their sons were continuing in the same thing that their fathers were doing, right? And I want to get this right quick. Can somebody else get this? First Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 17. Yeah, you can stay right there.
First Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 17. And it reads, "Now when Lysias knew that the king was dead, he set up Antiochus his son, whom he had brought up being young, to reign in his stead, and his name he called Eupator."
So they had their children ready in line to be the next wicked one to kill the children of Israel. So it's an ongoing battle. The same thing here in America. Who's ruling America today? Who know all the things that their forefathers did to the children of Israel? They know, right? And they wicked as hell for it, but they stay in power because they don't want to relinquish what their fathers stole and did for them, right? So let's go back to that.
First Maccabees 13, verse 17. Hereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him, yet sent he the money and the children, lest peradventure he should procure to himself great hatred of the people, who might have said, because I send him not the money and the children, therefore is Jonathan dead. So he sent them the children and the 100 talents. Howbeit Tryphon dissembled, neither would he let Jonathan go.
So in this situation, it's kind of sticky because it can be easy. Like, you know what? They going to kill my brother anyway, so I ain't going to send the money or his sons, right? But what happens when everybody wants to be that chief or everybody wants to lead and they don't have a full understanding of the battle? The people would have rose up against him. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And he did it. It was a hard decision, but he had to make it, right? But go ahead.
Verse 20. And after this came Tryphon to invade the land and destroy it, going round about by the way that leadeth unto Adora. But Simon and his host marched against him in every place.
So Simon's still in battle, right? Fighting, right? Go ahead.
Wheresoever he went. Now that they were in the tower, sent messengers unto Tryphon, to the end that he should hasten his coming unto them by the wilderness, and send them victuals. Wherefore Tryphon made ready all his horsemen to come that night. But there fell a great snow, by reason whereof he came not. So he departed and came into the country of Gilead. And when he came near to Boscama, he slew Jonathan, who was buried there. Afterward Tryphon returned and went into his own land.
So he killed his brother anyway. Y'all see that? But go ahead.
Then sent Simon and took the bones of Jonathan his brother and buried them in Moden, the city of his fathers. And all Israel made great lamentation for him and bewailed him many days.
Because Jonathan was a great man of Israel, right? Go ahead.
Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the site, with hewn stone behind and before.
So all his family was buried together, but go ahead.
Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids, one against another, for his father and his mother and his 4 brethren. And in these he made cunning devices, about the which he set great pillars. And upon the pillars he made all their armor for a perpetual memorial. For a perpetual memory. And by the armor ships carved, that they might be seen of all that sail on the sea. This is the sepulchre which he made at Moden.
So that had to be super big, right, for you to be way out in the boat and you could see the memorial that he set up for his family. But go ahead.
This is the sepulchre which he made at Moden, and it standeth yet unto this day. Now Tryphon dealt deceitfully with the young king Antiochus, and slew him. And he reigned in his stead, and crowned himself king of Asia.
So
and
you had these Edomites, they was fighting against each other as well. So you think they gave a two messages about us? No, they didn't, because they wanted power, right? But go ahead.
And he reigned in his stead, and crowned himself king of Asia, and brought a great calamity upon the land. Then Simon built up the strongholds in Judea, and fenced them about with high towers and great walls, and gates and bars, and laid up victuals therein. Moreover, Simon chose men, and sent to King Demetrius, to the end he should give the land an immunity, because all that Tryphon did was to spoil.
So here you have Simon. He's wise, right? He know when to fight and when not to fight, right? But go ahead.
Unto whom King Demetrius answered and wrote after this manner. King Demetrius unto Simon the high priest, and friend of kings, as also unto the elders and the nation of the Jews, sendeth greeting. The golden crown and the scarlet robe, which he sent unto us, we have received. And we are ready to make steadfast peace with you, yea, and to write unto our officers, to confirm the immunities which we have granted. And whatsoever covenants we have made with you shall stand, and the strongholds which ye have builded shall be your own.
Go ahead.
As for any oversight or fault committed unto this day, we forgive it. And the crown tax also, which ye owe us. And if there were any other tribute paid in Jerusalem, it shall no more be paid.
You see how smart Simon was? To get the burden off his people physically and monetarily, so they don't have to give their goods to the heathens. Let's make this peace right quick, right? But go ahead.
And look who are meet among you to be in our court. Let then be enrolled, and let there be peace betwixt us. Thus the yoke of the heathen was taken away from Israel in the 170th year. Then the people of Israel began to write in their instruments and contracts. In the first year of Simon the high priest, the governor and leader of the Jews.
Yep, go ahead.
In those days, Simon camped against Gaza and besieged it round about. He made also an engine of war.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Gaza is towards Ethiopia, right? But go ahead, because they got that region. But go ahead.
He made also an engine of war and set it by the city, and battered a certain tower and took it. And they that were in the engine leaped into the city, whereupon there was a great uproar in the city.
How much y'all, who used the Trojan horse in a movie? That's similar to what he just did right here, right? And y'all think that Edomites did that stuff first, but our forefathers were smart and they were doing things to win battles as well, right? But go ahead.
In those days, Simon camped against Gaza and besieged it round about. He made also an engine of war and set it by the city, and battered a certain tower and took it. And they that were in the engine leaped into the city, whereupon there was a great uproar in the city, insomuch as the people of the city rent their clothes and climbed upon the walls with their wives and children.
Man, they running out the city, right? Go ahead.
And cried with a loud voice, beseeching Simon to grant them peace. And they said, deal not with us according to our wickedness, but according to thy mercy.
So now that the shoe is on the other foot, they want peace real quick, right? But when we was in anguish and hurt and pain, being killed, they didn't want it. But now they want it, right? But go ahead.
So Simon was appeased toward them, and fought no more against them, but put them out of the city, and cleansed the houses wherein the idols were, and so entered into it with songs and thanksgiving. Yea, he put all uncleanness out of it,
So everything that was unclean in Jerusalem, he kicked them all out, right? Go ahead.
and placed such men there as would keep the law, and made it stronger than it was before, and built therein a dwelling place for
Because he didn't
himself.
place no wicked men there. He said, if these men gonna keep the law, I'm placing them in the city, right? They gonna be the stronghold of that place at this time, right? But go ahead.
They also of the tower in Jerusalem were kept so straight that they could neither come forth, nor go into the country, nor buy, nor sell. Wherefore they were in great distress for want of victuals, and a great number of them perished through famine. Then cried they to Simon, beseeching him to be at one with them, which he granted them. And when he had put them from thence, he cleansed the tower from pollutions, and entered into it 23 day of the second month, in the 171st year, with thanksgiving, and branches of palm trees, and with harps.
And what else he do?
And cymbals, and with vows, and hymns, and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel.
So this is the memorial of Simon. This is what he did. Read that verse 52.
He ordained also that that day should be kept every year with gladness.
So today, we gonna praise famous men. All praise to the Most High for Brother Simon, Mattathias, and all the Maccabean family. Right? But go ahead.
Kept every year with great gladness. Moreover, the hill of the temple that was by the tower he made stronger than it was. And there he dwelt himself with his company. And when Simon saw that John, his son, was a valiant man, he made him captain of all the hosts.
So it didn't stop. His sons became captains, right? They still of the lineage of Levi, because his father came from a priest, right? And they still was putting in this work. So now I want to go to chapter 14. We're going to read 1 through 14, and we'll be done. Because I want to show this aspect of how Simon rolled, right?
First Maccabees chapter 14, verse 1. Now in the 112th year, King Demetrius gathered his forces together and went into Media to get him help to fight against Tryphon. But when Artaxerxes, the king of Persia and Media, heard that Demetrius was entered within his borders, he sent one of his...
So here you have the heathens fighting amongst the heathens, right? But go ahead.
He sent one of his princes to take him alive, who went and smote the host of Demetrius, and took him, and brought him to Artaxerxes, by whom he was put in ward. And for the land of Judea, that was quiet all the days of Simon, for he sought the good of his nation in such wise.
So how many of y'all believe that war brings peace? I'm going to show y'all in chapter 1 right quick. Chapter 1. Verse 9. Wait, no, that's not verse 9.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, in verse 3, or verse 2. and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
So when you fight in a war and you kill your enemies, everything get quiet. What did Christ say he gonna do to his enemies when he come back? He gonna kill them. They all gonna be under his feet. And the earth is gonna be quiet before Israel, right? So let's first back to First Maccabees
Back
14
to
and
1
4.
Maccabees chapter 14, verse 4. As for the land of Judea, that was quiet all the days of Simon, for he sought the good of his nation in such wise, as that evermore his authority and honor pleased them well, and as he was honorable in all his acts. So in this, that he took Joppa for an haven, and made an entrance to the isles of the sea, and enlarged the bounds of his nation, and recovered the country.
So when you go to war, this is the right that you get now to make a law, to make your own boundaries in your own cities, right? Go ahead.
And gathered together a great number of captives, and had the dominion of Gezerah, and Bethsura, and the tower, out of the which he took all uncleanness. Neither was there any that resisted him.
So he cleansed all the wicked out, right? But go ahead.
Then did they till their ground in peace, and the earth gave her increase.
So now they farming, feeding themselves, right? Go ahead.
And the trees of the field their fruit. The ancient men sat all in the streets.
So now you got the old heads chilling. Like, man, we at peace, and they talking, they doing what?
The ancient men sat all in the streets, communing together of good things.
Evil things.
Good things.
Good things, right? Go ahead.
And the young men put on glorious and warlike apparel.
No, they had their pants sagging. They was dressing like women, acting effeminate.
Glorious and
They
warlike
put
apparel.
on glorious and warlike apparel. Everybody that's girded up, right? Go ahead.
He provided victuals for the cities, and set in them all manner of munition.
So now he providing for his own city after he fought for his people, right? Go ahead.
So that his honorable name was renowned unto the end of the world.
And we still praising his name, right? Go ahead.
He made peace in the land, and Israel rejoiced with great joy.
So we all rejoice because he did this, right? Go ahead.
For every man sat under his vine and his fig tree, and there was none to fray them.
So they chilling now because of this war, because of this battle. So please train your sons, train your daughters, train yourself to fight in this war too, right? Get their minds ready, right?
Verse 13, neither was there any left in the land to fight against them. Yea, the kings themselves were overthrown in those days.
So wasn't nobody left to fight them. But read this last one.
Moreover, he strengthened all of those. Moreover, he strengthened all those of his people that were brought low.
No, he was strengthening other people, heathens and all that, putting them before his people.
Of his people that were brought
So he
low.
strengthened his own people first, right? Go ahead.
The law he searched out. And every contemner of the law and wicked person he took away.
And that's Simon's story. If you wicked, you got to go. If you unrighteous, we slaying you, killing you, right? All praises to the Most High, and that's the memorial of Simon.
If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was